Charles, it's one of those occasions, you know perfectly well, that your journalism hat goes on first and foremost. This is going to exercise lots and lots of folk around the country. What's your take when you first heard the news?
Well, surprised, because the last time she saw Prince Charles was 2 days before he had COVID on February the 8th. It's now February the 20th, so that's 12 days ago. I'm not too sure how long this lingers around before someone else catches it, but I'm a bit surprised. But, you know, the palace are being quite straight with her, I think, and saying that she's got mild cold-like symptoms and is being looked after. I'm sure she's been looked after very, very well indeed. And she is going to continue with light duties, which is good news. But I also suspect that all the people that she's been seeing in that intervening period, including those two military chaps that she saw, that we saw photographs of a few days ago, I think there'll be phone calls to them as well.
Perfected last time round the regal bubble, Her Majesty's, by appointment to Her Majesty, a bubble. Let's reassure folk, if we can, that Her Majesty is in the best possible hands. Sure. And every measure will have been taken to keep her safe.
Yes, and as far as I'm aware, that bubble still exists in effect. You know, she sees her son proves positive for COVID 2 days later. There's not much anybody could do about that. But you're absolutely right. She's in that bubble. She's in the best place at all with Windsor Castle. She's got the doctors there. She's got medical care. She's got all the people around her that she needs to have around her. And I'm sure, you know, at the age of 95, they will be taking all the precautions that need to be taken, you know, with Her Majesty.
Final point on that aspect is that if it were any other person of that age, you'd say, oh, well, she's in that vulnerable territory. Unlike her late sister and indeed her mum, relatively speaking, this is a very clean-living, healthy, loves to horse ride woman. She's in a pretty good state of health.
Oh, she is a marvellous state of health. I mean, in the pictures that we were talking about when she saw the defence guys, we saw her with a walking stick, and she was saying, "Oh, I can't move." I mean, obviously, it's a bit difficult now. You know, her mobility is not as great as it used to be, but she's led a very, very healthy life throughout her life. It's quite incredible. You should quite rightly say, unlike her sister and mother, but our mother lived to 100 plus, 101, so she hasn't done too badly.
Yes, indeed. Du bonnet and gin, the great elixir. The other thing that struck me, and actually you said it almost in passing at the beginning, but I want to share your thoughts in a little bit more detail with those who are good enough to be watching us or listening to us. And that is the point about the palace having been straight with us. It's quite a big deal for the palace to make a health statement about the most senior member of the royal family. That's quite a cautious decision.
It is a very cautious decision, and of course we were all clamouring after the announcement of Prince Charles, you know, how was the Queen and everything else, and, you know, they were using the old, well, we don't discuss medical matters. Well, clearly they are now discussing medical matters, as she's proved positive. I suspect that's been done partially because she may well have had some audiences with some people that will now have to be put on the back burner. And so, yes, it's quite good that they have been straight with us. And I think COVID nowadays is much softer than it was right at the beginning, you know, 2 years ago. So that's good news as well for Her Majesty. All we can do is wish her well, speedy recovery, and hopefully we'll be seeing her again soon.